Happy birthday, Gemini! You are at the front of the line to get your readings for the week. How are you? I hope you're well. Thanks, Gemini, for clicking here. I appreciate you. Welcome to Gemini season. Please tell me when your birthday is. I would love to know. Let's find out what's going on for you, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's find out what's going on for Gemini. We're going to do a 9-card read. I think that's going to be what is tickling my brain this week. And we'll find out what's going on in the extension if you end up joining us at the end of this video. Let's find out what's going on for you, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Look, anything you need is in the pinned comment, right? Anything you need to know about private reads and membership area. All right. Tell me about Gemini. We've started off with, in fact, Gemini. We started off with the Lovers. Let's find out what else is going on here. We've got the Queen of Swords. There's a very clear choice, I'm going to say. That's what it feels like. A very honest, truthful, and clear choice about something that's coming up. And I feel like it's coming up quickly because the Knight of Wands is here. I'm going to say don't jump to it. I don't think you usually do unless you've got fire in your rising or your moon or something like that. It could be a Mars or a Venus thing, but I feel like somebody here, I'm supposed to tell you, don't make that decision too quickly, but be very clear about when you make the choice. It could be a choice about a person, could be a choice about telling the truth about something. And I say be careful because when I see swords next to wands here, it's a sharp tongue, especially when it comes up around the king or the queen of swords for me. It's truth and honesty that's sort of spit out in a fiery way. Boom, just like that. Gemini, you know that you're not the person with the filter. So I feel like this causes issues, fiery conversations is what I'm looking at here. We've got the Six of Swords in the reverse. It feels like here that you're trying to make a choice about something that you have, you've been having a hard time making a choice about. When the Six of Swords comes up in the reverse for me, I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a thought pattern. I'm stuck not being able to make this decision because of place whatever the reason is here. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. It could be investing in someone, something, a relationship. It feels like I'm holding back from saying something because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm looking at maybe this investment that's coming up here, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to deal with making the investment. So I feel like you're stuck. It doesn't feel like you're holding back. It feels like, but if I do it the way I want to do it, not everybody's going to be happy with it because it could be a little sharp. And so the Five of Swords energy is here. I don't want to start a fight. I don't want to start a fiery fight or an argument. I don't want to destabilize a stable situation. We've got the Empress here. I just said stable situation and then the Empress showed up, right? So it feels like somebody here is wanting to make a clear decision. Look, if you are the Empress or dealing with an Empress, you want to make a clear decision, a stable one, because you know that this person expects that from you, only because they expect it from themselves. So you might expect it from yourself, but maybe the person you're approaching with your decision about investment, about planting a seed here, it feels like there is somebody here who you probably respect. This is a person who I feel that makes you feel very grounded and solid. This person is probably someone who is your hype person, who's always telling you, look, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. Plant the seed. Something will grow. It's very abundant. This is a person who thinks from an abundant point of view. This is not the person who's ever going to say to somebody, don't do that just because they wouldn't do it. This is a person who's like, yeah, go ahead, take the shot, to make the bold move, do whatever it is that you want to do. But this person may not realize that the advice they're giving you is because you're about to make some sort of a bold move at them, and maybe they're not understanding that right now. Oh, look at that. We got the King and the Queen of Swords here, and then the Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. It does feel like there is going to be a conversation. I feel like you need to say it, but you've been holding, like, it doesn't feel like a holdback. It feels like stuck. I do want to say it. I want to say it in an honest and truthful way, but I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or ruffle feathers because I don't want to argue or fight. But saying it in effect will destabilize or make the whole thing fiery. I think you're expecting this to get out of hand a little bit. It feels like a fundamental difference. It feels like we have a very different point of view about how the world is, and I'm stuck as to whether I should invest. It could be, should I invest in this relationship, this friendship? Should I invest in saying yes to planting the seed, which could mean somebody is asking you, can you come out to this family gathering, or could you come out to here or there? It feels like you want to make a bold move, but you want to make the bold move under your own circumstances, which is, if I do make the bold move, Queen of Wands, I'm going to make it honestly and truthfully. And I may walk in with fundamental differences. And if you're inviting me, you're also inviting my opinion. So I feel like it almost feels like that you would be holding your tongue in order to keep the peace, or in order to keep things stabilized here. It's a choice that you're making. I don't know that you're making the choice not to say something. Let's clarify just a little bit and find out what's going on. But first, let's put some cards down here. We'll see what we're going to talk about that is coming up in the extended. Also, what is going on under the surface. Let's find out what's going on here, Gemini. We've got the Star. So I feel like you're with your point of view, with your fundamental difference, you're hopeful that whatever you say will come out in the right way, or this person will not take offense. Look, offense is a choice. If you want to be offended by somebody, go ahead and be offended by somebody. But if they're going to be offended by you, and you are the Empress, then maybe that's not on you. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if you deliver it in a solid, stable sort of way, and not, with a forked tongue, right? I feel like the Empress wouldn't be somebody who would be offended by that. In fact, this person would cheer you on to make a bold move. So we have the Three of Swords, and we have the Star here. It feels as though something here is teetering. And the reason I say that is because swords, swords, swords. And we've got 5, 6, 7 swords on the table. 7 swords could be, I should probably keep it under the surface. Is somebody lying to me? I got to get the truth. It feels like you want to go to somebody and say, is that what somebody said you said what you said? Is that what you meant? Like, it feels like you're going to call somebody out, and you want to, it feels like you have a relationship with a person, a situation, a group of people where you do want to invest. Look, maybe it's 2 people that are going to be working on a business together, and then you hear somebody said something about you behind the scenes, and it destabilized everything. It feels like you do want to go ahead and make an offer. Offer on the house, offer on the car, offer on the friendship, the relationship. It feels like there's a choice for you here. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. What do we need to know about the Queen of Swords? This is somebody who's liberating themselves. So I feel like you're going to be liberating yourself from this 6 of Swords energy here. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's all about making a choice, right? Because I feel like right now you're in a little bit of a mental wobble. And what I mean about that is you really haven't decided yet what you're going to say. You're going to say it because the King and the Queen of Swords are here. You're going to say it, but you haven't decided how you're going to say it, because you want to come off as being very foundationally solid when you say it. You want to be practical. I don't think you want to be hurtful, is what I'm saying, Gemini. We do have the 3 of Cups in the reverse, but your worry, I feel, because we do have 6, we have all these swords here, right? We have the 6 in reverse, and then we have the King or the Queen here, and I feel like your worry with the 3 of Cups in the reverse is, what if I break this down? What if all of a sudden I'm now shunned from a group? What if they don't want me to come to Christmas dinner? What if, you know what I mean? It feels like you are trying to find a way to be the most practical and pragmatic way for you to deliver the information you want to deliver without starting a fight. But you know it's important for you to say so, or the King and the Queen of Swords wouldn't be here. The 4 of Cups is here in the reverse. So I feel like it is a moment of vulnerability that you're trying to share. Look, that's the hardest thing. Somebody here is trying to share something that's very vulnerable to them, which means I don't usually say these things, but I am going to be really honest and truthful with you, very vulnerable with you about how I feel about something. And I feel like you're doing it to stand up for yourself. And I feel like you are approaching someone who's probably like the King of Swords. They don't have to be an Aries, a Libra, not an Aries, sorry, an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. They don't have to be. But there's someone who you know acts in this way. This person here, lights are on or off. It's going to be, it's not going to be pink or an off red. It's going to be red or black. Do you know what I mean? This is a person who deals in facts. honesty, truth. If this person feels like they're off on their facts, they will pull out the whiteboard and explain. I feel like you are dealing with someone who is a hair splitter. Someone will say, no, you said you'd show up at 2 o'clock on Tuesday and you showed up at 2:05. It feels like you're dealing with someone who you really have to be on point with your details with. Tell me why the Six of Swords is in the reverse. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. We've got the Ace of the Ace of Cups. So I really think that you have a decent emotional respect for this person. This could be someone that you work with. Look, the King of Swords is somebody who does the hiring and the firing for me. So I feel like we could be talking about something that's going down between you and an employer, you and somebody who is your superior in your workplace. It feels like you are holding back, biting your tongue, not making the choice, trying to keep everything. The only way that you're going to keep this stability here, I feel, is by not saying something. And with the King and the Queen of Swords both here, there's no way you're not saying something. So I think that you are sort of tasked with trying to find the right way to say it so you don't cause a fight, so you don't get reprimanded, I would say. Tell me about this Five of Swords. We've got the Page of Cups. So I think that the Page of Cups is telling me I might just spring it on them. The World card. Are you thinking about quitting your job, friend? It feels like I'm dealing with someone here who's probably going to quit their job. Look, I only put 2 cards there. I'm going to put one more down. We've got the Ten of Swords. I feel like somebody here is about ready to walk out of a partnership, make a choice to leave someone, leave something somewhere, a job, a person, a place, a situation. You're about to draw a very clear line in the sand, Gemini, is what it feels like here. So the Page of Swords is here. Page of Cups is here. The World card is here. And then we have the Page of Wands. It's an unpredictable situation. And I think that's what the problem is, because I think that the subject at hand is the Ace of Pentacles. It's, do I really offer any more time, effort, or energy into a new project here when the old project didn't work? To the new department when I don't really even like working here, or to the new person coming into the situation when I don't even want to deal with you all, right? Like it feels like that. So the Page of Wands is unpredictable, and the World card is here. What's unpredictable is this argument going to bring everything to an end? Do I get fired? Are they just going to usher me out the door? I feel like the Page of Cups is here with the World card saying if you surprise somebody with your point of view, if you just say, I got to talk to you in your office, I feel like it's an unpredictable situation, and it could definitely lead to something ending. It could, and if you're not worried about that ending, then I would say go for it. But depending on what you want the outcome to be, depends on how you are going to whether you're going to hold your tongue or not, because the Ten of Swords is here. Ten of Swords is the release. And then we have the Ace of Cups. It's almost like you want to say, look, I enjoy working here, and there are times when I'm really happy that I do, but, right? Or I enjoy being in this relationship, and I'm really happy that we chose to see each other, but, and it feels like there's a but here somewhere. We've got the Queen of Wands. Telling you about this Queen of Wands, because we got the Page of Swords. So it does feel like it's something that you've been watching from a distance. It feels like you've been observing someone, their movements, how they say it, what they say. You've been observing an environment, or you've been observing someone that you're about to make a choice about. The Lovers is here, and understand it's not always romantic, right? The Lovers can be, of course, two people joining or in a joint relationship, but it also can be a choice. So what am I choosing? What am I choosing? When I choose you, what am I choosing? Look, you could be choosing someone that you really have a lot of feelings for, but their family is a hot mess. Do you know what I mean? You're going to hook your wagon. When you hook your wagon to somebody, you get everybody that's in their life. And so I feel like it's a really important choice for you with this investment, because I feel that you see the value in it, but I also think that you know that if you enter into this Ace of Pentacles, planting the seed or making an investment, that means that your tongue is going to have to be tied. You're not going to be able to say anything. And after you've observed everything here, I feel like you're about to make a really big move. We've got the Seven of Cups here, and it is the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Cups tells me what you're observing is making you really think about your options. We've got the Hierophant. I feel like you're in a situation where you do want to commit. So I'm going to say for those of you that this is a reading about money or about your career path or working at a place where they're offering you another position, I would say. It does feel like they're offering you another position, but you're like, look, you didn't deliver on the last thing I did. You said that I was going to be in an acting position until I got the position, and you never made me the head of the department. Like, it feels like somebody here is asking more of you, asking you to give more time, effort, or energy by offering you something. And I feel like it's not something that is going to be I think that's something that you're unsure is going to be for you. So we have the Hierophant and the Seven of Cups. I think that what you want is stability. It feels like you just want to find somewhere where you can plant your feet, build a structure. This could be in a corporation, because Hierophant could be corporation. It feels like it could be a commitment with someone. So it could be an emotional commitment, a commitment of two people, because we saw the Two of Cups come up at the bottom of the deck. It could be an emotional commitment with somebody. Could be a relationship commitment. It feels like somebody's asking you to stop dating other people and date them exclusively. And you're like, but I've hooked my wagon to one person and their life is a hot mess. And what do I do with that? So it feels like you have a really big decision coming up here. And I don't think you're here to hurt anybody's feelings, but you really, truthfully, would be doing yourself an injustice if you weren't as honest as you could be about the situation. I feel like as we get out of this part of the reading here, that we are looking at the moon energy. And so I feel like somebody here really doesn't know what they want to pursue. I'm not really sure what the outcome will be. We've got the King of Cups here. I'm not really sure what the outcome will be. So I think I'll keep my feelings about this under the surface for now. And that might be an illusion, but I am going to go ahead and figure out what I want to do before I stand up and do the thing. Before I stand up and say, look, now I'm in control. This is what I've chosen for myself. Look, the Emperor will not be dragged around by the tail. The Emperor is the one who is going to make the choice. So if you are the person who is tasked with making the decision about this here, I feel like you are probably up against an Empress, and you might have a difference of opinion with that person. You could be the Empress. Maybe you have a difference of opinion with the Emperor, but it does feel like there is something here that specifically needs to be discussed. You don't want it to have an all-out fight. It could end up in you losing this person or losing their job because it's unpredictable. If you spring it on someone without letting them know ahead of time about what you want to speak about and just show up and say, this is the conversation we're having, there's probably less of a chance that this won't go off into right field or left field. Yeah. All right, we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be in the extended, you know what to do. Check in the pinned comment. The private reads are open. Check in the pinned comment for that as well. You will find all of my pricing and all of my pricing and packages there. I don't know why I can't speak today, but I'm going to go for now, and I'll be back because I'm always back. And we're going to go into the extended. If you're there, great. If not, I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care, gems. Thanks. Bye-bye.